Lightbrite's Logic, Take 3 for Chapter 2. Chapter 1, we discussed, or I discussed with you guys, how they actually put Jamie on what he was being paid every month. And the next step was to meet the Voc Rehab lady, Ina Graham. Ina Graham came out and met us on August 19th of 2003. And this is at that time what she got out of the meeting that she came. And this is in her report that is dated August 19th, 2003, under Vocational Rehabilitation Plan. It states, client has asked for an opportunity to submit a business proposal to set up a taxidermy business, and this would involve training plus startup costs. The business proposal forms will be forwarded to him at the earliest convenience. In addition, the client would be interested in becoming an automotive mechanic. Though his future restrictions are not yet determined, this may be a viable option for this client. He will be looking into where to obtain the training, cost of the training, and education required to enter an automotive mechanic training program. He will get back with the information as soon as possible and will begin upgrading as soon as he is able. Currently, the client continues to be on wage loss benefits, and this was August 19th. So that's what she took from there. So basically on September the 3rd, she phoned me and got a hold of me and asked me to come up with 3 different schools for mechanics training. She wanted me to put the budgets together on how much it would cost to go to each one, where he would be staying, figuring his meals and his cost of living. She wanted all that information, so that was supposed to be her job, but I think she asked me to do it so I could do all those reports and she could get it. But I don't think I sent her an invoice. I don't think so. Did I, Ina? No, I don't think I sent you an invoice for that. Anyways, this whole time, Ina was telling us that she was very, very, very much on our side, and she was trying to get the best thing that she could pushed forward. Again, my trusty tape recorder. I had gotten a letter this one day, and I opened it up, and she had told me that she was pushing for the automotive service technician program after he did all his upgrading at College of the Rockies, which was four courses to be prerequisite entry requirements into an automotive mechanics position training in SAIT in Alberta. He did go start his upgrading in September of 2003 with much argumenting from me. I was very persistent and couldn't understand why WCB would want Jamie to sit around for a whole year, which I found was totally ludicrous, and that just didn't make any sense. So he went for the upgrading. It was very, very hard. The teacher was on his side. He worked very hard. I must commend him. I really must commend him. Anyways, this is a phone call that I had in regards to the budget for the planning of the SAIT training. This is Ina Graham telling me that she's on our side now. Listen to this.
Like there's a sentence, oh, that's good, but they don't have any of the good things in there.
One of the things that we're doing is because they found that this is not going to be permanent. What we're doing is we're supporting his being a mechanic.
Now, who said it's not permanent?
Now, that's what I told you. That's the opinion of the medical advisor on his last plateau meeting.
And who's that? James Thorback?
What is his name?
I don't know, but I sure like it.
But don't go and argue with that man, because if he says this is not going to be permanent, we can't even support him doing the mechanic program. Ellis.
Ellis?
Yep.
That's his first name or last?
Last name.
Well, no, I can get that. If that's what he's saying, then I can get. Well, I don't know how long we gotta wait, because I really don't want him to have the dizziness forever. So this is a no-win situation, actually, right?
I know.
I mean, what do you do?
Let's see what happens over the short term. Okay.
All right.
And as soon as
Okay, this was something that Ina was telling me that my husband's dizziness was not going to be long term, that it would get better, it would go away. This is what they were telling me was going to happen. Even though it hasn't happened, nothing had happened at that time. We were sitting there in August, I think this was August when this was taped, and I have no idea where she came up with that idea. But once they decide to get into doing something like that, then I guess that's what they do. Totally ludicrous, I think, because you or us or all of our injured workers, any of the wives that are fighting for our husbands, have all come across this. When they say something, well, it doesn't really matter, you know. So I didn't like that one bit, but she also went on to tell me that she will be sending me out a letter of explanation to what her plan is, which I didn't know at the time, but 3 days before, let's see, Ina or WCB paid for the upgrading now. We've all established that, sorry. We did get in to have a seat saved at SATE. We used the College of the Rockies instructor, Meg, to send a letter, and they actually accepted Jamie. So we got him in there, costed $230. WCB paid for that, with the understanding that he was accepted and he would be starting in August 2004. 3 days before he was to leave, I was going to drive him to my mom's. I had his suitcases all packed and everything, and I was going to take him to my mom so he could start on his journey of retraining. Ina phoned me and told me they didn't approve the plan, so the tuition would not be paid. This was devastating news. But I kind of figured that's what they were going to do. So what I had done was applied to the student loans and applied for as much government assistance as we could get, and Jamie went anyway. Following what came was the realization that Ina was going to allow Jamie to be a pipe fitter. 26 weeks of education is all that she said he needed or was entitled to, and after that he should be able to be making a comparable wage to what he was making. He was making $5,000 a month, remember. And 26 weeks of training or education as a pipe fitter is going to bring him up there to $5,000 a month. Not going to happen. Didn't happen. We worked out a plan that the board would accept Ina's proposal, that they would give Jamie this much money. He could take that pipe fitting money and put it into what he wanted to do for himself, which was a automotive mechanic. He might have picked something different, but remember now, right up to 3 days before he was scheduled to leave, and I was going 3 days before he was scheduled for me to take him to my mom's to enter the course, the phone call came and said no, he couldn't do that. So had it been a little bit earlier and he had time to prepare, it might have turned out different. But since they keep everything and keep us in the dark so bad, that when you realize what's going on, it's too late to do anything about it. And this comes from practice, and I'm sure the WCB employees that work with them, they must take courses in how to be intimidating and how to be overbearing, and that numbers are only numbers. There are no people. So with that in mind, I'm going to say good night for Chapter 2, and thank you for watching. Chapter 3 is coming. Lightbrite Logics on WCB in Canada. And it's going to get really interesting. So I'm hoping we can spark some change. Thank you.